are certain vehicles that transcend their category. They become more than transportation. They become cultural markers, institutional symbols, reference points against which an entire segment is measured. The Cadillac Escalade has occupied that space for over 2 decades, and with this latest evolution, the 2030 model, General Motors has done something rather significant. They have taken an already iconic nameplate and repositioned it not merely as a luxury SUV, but as a comprehensive statement about what American premium transportation means in this decade and beyond. What we are looking at here is not simply an updated vehicle. This is a carefully orchestrated response to a shifting luxury landscape, one where electrification, digital integration, and material sustainability have moved from peripheral considerations to core expectations. In today's analysis, we will examine the 2030 Escalade in its entirety. We will discuss its design philosophy, its interior architecture, its powertrain strategy, and its positioning within an increasingly competitive segment. This is not a surface-level overview. This is a complete assessment intended for those who approach automotive decisions with the seriousness they deserve. Whether you are actively considering this vehicle, evaluating it against alternatives, or simply seeking to understand where the American full-size luxury SUV segment is headed, this analysis will provide the clarity you need. Let us begin. To understand what Cadillac has accomplished with this Escalade, we must first understand where the brand has been and, more importantly, where it intends to go. Cadillac, as many of you are aware, has undergone a significant transformation over the past decade. The brand has moved deliberately away from the somewhat uncertain positioning it occupied in the early part of this century and has instead committed fully to a vision of technology-forward American luxury. This is not the Cadillac of excessive ornamentation, nor is it the Cadillac that once struggled to define itself against German and Japanese competitors. The modern Cadillac, particularly as expressed through this Escalade, represents something more confident, more resolved. The 2030 Escalade sits at the apex of this philosophy. It is the flagship, the statement piece, and Cadillac has treated it accordingly. In terms of market positioning, this vehicle occupies a distinctive space. It does not attempt to out-engineer the German competitors on driving dynamics alone. It does not pursue minimalism to the degree seen in some Scandinavian-influenced designs. Instead, it embraces what Cadillac refers to as commanding presence, a combination of scale, technology, and unambiguous visual authority that remains distinctly American. This positioning is intentional. Cadillac understands that buyers at this level are not simply purchasing transportation. They are making a statement about their own values, their own success, their own vision of what luxury should feel like. The Escalade has always served that function, and this generation amplifies it considerably. Within the General Motors portfolio, the Escalade also serves a strategic purpose. It demonstrates the full extent of what the corporation's Ultium platform and associated technologies can deliver when cost constraints are relaxed and premium execution becomes the sole priority. In many ways, this vehicle is a technology showcase, a demonstration of capability that filters down through the broader lineup. The result is a vehicle that feels both familiar and forward-looking. It honors the legacy of the nameplate while simultaneously pushing into territory that would have seemed improbable even 5 years ago. The exterior design of the 2030 Escalade represents an evolution rather than a revolution, and this is entirely deliberate. Cadillac's design team, led by their global leadership, has long understood that the Escalade's visual identity is one of its most valuable assets. The proportions, the stance, the unmistakable silhouette, these elements are recognized instantly. To abandon them would be to sacrifice decades of brand equity. What we see instead is a refinement. The lines have been sharpened, the surfaces have been given additional complexity and depth. The lighting signatures, both front and rear, have been updated to reflect Cadillac's current design language while maintaining clear lineage to previous generations. The front fascia deserves particular attention. The vertical lighting elements remain, but they have been reimagined with additional dimensionality. The grille, while still substantial, now incorporates active aerodynamic elements that adjust based on cooling requirements and driving conditions. This is functional design, technology in service of both efficiency and aesthetics. Moving along the profile, the proportions remain commanding. This is a large vehicle, and Cadillac has made no attempt to disguise that fact. The wheelbase is generous, the overhangs are managed but not artificially shortened. There's an honesty to the proportions that communicates substance and capability. The surfacing along the body sides demonstrates the precision that modern manufacturing allows. The character lines are crisp, the panel gaps are consistent. The way light plays across the surfaces creates a sense of movement even when the vehicle is stationary. At the rear, the vertical taillights continue their signature role. They are immediately recognizable, yet they have been updated with additional graphic complexity and dynamic capabilities. The liftgate has been refined for improved aerodynamics without sacrificing the visual weight that gives the Escalade its commanding presence. Wheel designs range from understated to more expressive depending on specification level. All options, however, maintain the premium aesthetic that the segment demands. When viewed as a complete composition, the 2030 Escalade exterior accomplishes something difficult. It feels entirely current without abandoning the visual equity that made this nameplate significant. This is the work of a design team that understands restraint, that recognizes when to push forward and when to preserve. It is inside the cabin that the 2030 Escalade makes perhaps its most compelling argument. Cadillac has approached this interior with an understanding that at this price point, materials quality is simply expected. It is the baseline. What differentiates a truly premium environment is how those materials are combined, how the space is organized, and how the cabin makes occupants feel over extended periods. Upon entering, the immediate impression is one of considered luxury. The leather, available in multiple grades and colorways, is soft to the touch and stitched with precision. The wood and metal accents are genuine, not simulated. The ambient lighting is integrated thoughtfully, creating atmosphere without becoming theatrical. The dashboard architecture follows Cadillac's current philosophy of driver-focused design. The primary controls fall naturally to hand. The display surfaces are positioned to minimize eye movement and reduce cognitive load. There is a logic to the layout that becomes apparent quickly and remains intuitive over time. Seating comfort has been addressed comprehensively. The front seats offer extensive adjustment range, including independent cushion bolsters, adjustable lumbar support with massage functionality, and heating and ventilation that operates quietly and effectively. Extended drives reveal the attention paid to long-term comfort. The seating position remains supportive without becoming fatiguing. Second-row accommodations vary by configuration. In the captain's chair arrangement, rear passengers enjoy exceptional space and comfort. The seats recline, adjust fore and aft, and offer heating and ventilation depending on specification. A center console provides storage and connectivity options, creating an experience that approaches that of the front row. Third-row seating, often an afterthought in this segment, has been given genuine consideration. Adults can occupy this space without significant compromise, though it naturally serves best for shorter journeys or younger passengers. Access has been improved over previous generations, and the ability to fold or remove these seats provides flexibility for cargo requirements. Speaking of cargo capacity, the Escalade continues to offer substantial space behind all seating rows, with significant expansion available when rows are folded. The load floor is relatively flat, and tie-down points are provided for securing items during transport. The cabin's acoustic environment is remarkably refined. Cadillac has employed extensive sound deadening, acoustic glass, and active noise cancellation technologies to create an interior that remains serene regardless of driving conditions. Conversation at highway speeds occurs at normal volume. The isolation from the external environment is genuinely impressive. This is a cabin designed for living, for working, for traveling in comfort over significant distances. Every material, every surface, every control has been considered not merely for its initial impression, but for how it will serve occupants over years of ownership. The technology integration within the 2030 Escalade reflects the broader industry's evolution toward comprehensive digitization, but executed with a level of refinement that the premium segment demands. The display architecture is expansive. A curved screen assembly spans a significant portion of the dashboard, incorporating instrumentation, navigation, and infotainment functions into a unified interface. The resolution is appropriately high. The graphics are rendered smoothly. The system responds to inputs without perceptible lag. Cadillac's latest software platform represents a meaningful advancement over previous iterations. The interface logic has been simplified. Common functions are accessible with minimal menu navigation. Customization options allow owners to configure the display arrangement according to their preferences. Navigation capabilities extend beyond simple route guidance. The system integrates real-time traffic data, charging infrastructure information for electric operation, and predictive suggestions based on learned behavior. Over-the-air update capability ensures that the system remains current throughout the ownership period. Audio system options range from excellent to exceptional. The standard configuration delivers clarity and presence that will satisfy most listeners. Upper-tier options, developed in partnership with recognized audio specialists, provide an acoustic experience that rivals dedicated home installations. The speaker count and placement have been optimized for the cabin's specific geometry, ensuring consistent quality regardless of seating position. Connectivity provisions address the reality that vehicles at this level often serve as mobile offices. Wireless device integration is standard. Multiple USB provisions, including high-speed data ports, are distributed throughout the cabin. An available Wi-Fi hotspot delivers bandwidth sufficient for video conferencing and substantial data transfer. Voice recognition has improved to the point of genuine usefulness. Natural language commands are interpreted accurately. The system can distinguish between driver and passenger inputs. Complex requests, adjusting climate, initiating navigation, placing calls are handled without requiring specific syntax or repeated attempts. Rear seat entertainment options continue the premium theme. Individual displays, wireless headphone connectivity, and gaming capability are available for those configurations where rear passenger entertainment is a priority. The technology integration, viewed comprehensively, achieves something important. It enhances the ownership experience without demanding attention. The systems work reliably, they learn owner preferences, they remain intuitive rather than intimidating. This is technology in service of the driver, not technology as an end in itself. The powertrain strategy for the 2030 Escalade reflects Cadillac's commitment to electrification while acknowledging the realities of buyer expectations and infrastructure development. The primary configuration utilizes an advanced electric architecture based on General Motors' evolved Ultium platform. This system delivers propulsion characteristics that are ideally suited for a vehicle of this nature. Substantial torque available immediately, smooth and linear power delivery, and refinement that internal combustion simply cannot match. Range capabilities have been calibrated for real-world usage patterns. The battery capacity and energy management systems are designed to accommodate extended daily driving without range anxiety, while also supporting longer journeys with access to the expanding high-speed charging network. Charging speeds have improved considerably over earlier electric vehicles, reducing the time required for meaningful range replenishment. For those who require extended range capability or operate in regions where charging infrastructure remains limited, alternative configurations may be available depending on market. Cadillac has demonstrated flexibility in powertrain offerings, understanding that different customers operate under different constraints. The powertrain delivers additional benefits beyond environmental considerations. Packaging efficiency allows for improved interior space utilization. The low center of gravity, a natural consequence of floor-mounted battery placement, contributes to handling characteristics that belie the vehicle's dimensions. Maintenance requirements are reduced compared to traditional powertrains, with fewer consumable components and extended service intervals. Performance, when called upon, is more than adequate. The instant torque delivery provides confident acceleration for merging and passing situations. The calibration, however, prioritizes refinement over aggression. This is not a vehicle designed to impress through launch performance or maximum speed figures. It is designed to transport occupants effortlessly, regardless of load or gradient. Energy recovery through regenerative braking is calibrated for transparency. The The system captures energy during deceleration without creating the abrupt characteristics that some early electric vehicles exhibited. One-pedal driving capability is available for those who prefer it, though the system can be configured for more traditional brake pedal engagement. The powertrain, viewed holistically, serves the vehicle's essential purpose, providing refined, capable, and responsible transportation for those who expect the best. It accomplishes this with a maturity that reflects the considerable experience General Motors has now accumulated in electric vehicle development. The dynamic behavior of any full-size luxury SUV presents inherent challenges. The physics of a large, heavy vehicle with a necessarily elevated center of gravity impose constraints that engineering must address thoughtfully. Cadillac has approached this challenge with their most sophisticated suspension technology. The 2030 Escalade employs an advanced adaptive system that continuously monitors road conditions, driving inputs, and vehicle behavior, adjusting damping characteristics in real time to optimize both comfort and control. The primary calibration priority is comfort. This is a vehicle that must isolate occupants from road imperfections, absorb the irregularities of varied surfaces, and maintain composure over extended distances. In this regard, the Escalade succeeds admirably. The suspension absorbs impacts with minimal intrusion into the cabin. The body motions over undulating surfaces are controlled without becoming stiff. There is a suppleness to the ride that communicates quality. Air suspension technology allows for ride height adjustment based on conditions and preferences. Standard driving height optimizes the balance between ride quality and handling. A raised setting provides additional ground clearance for adverse conditions or unpaved surfaces. A lowered setting eases ingress and egress. When the driving situation demands more engagement, the adaptive systems firm accordingly. The body roll that might otherwise accompany directional changes is controlled. Steering response becomes more immediate. The vehicle feels more composed during highway lane changes or when navigating winding roads at reasonable speeds. It should be understood, however, that this remains a full-size luxury SUV. It does not and should not attempt to replicate the handling characteristics of a sports sedan. That is not its purpose. What it does accomplish is the management of its considerable mass in a way that feels controlled, predictable, and confidence-inspiring.
Steering calibration has received attention in this generation. The system provides appropriate feedback and weighting. It is neither artificially heavy nor disconcertingly light. The on-center feel is defined. Directional inputs are translated smoothly into vehicle response. Braking performance is calibrated for the vehicle's weight and typical usage patterns. The system delivers confident deceleration with appropriate pedal feel. The integration between regenerative and friction braking has been refined to create a consistent pedal response regardless of which system is providing primary deceleration. The dynamic summary is straightforward. The 2030 Escalade rides and handles in a manner befitting its position. It prioritizes comfort without sacrificing competence. It manages its size without feeling unwieldy. It inspires confidence without demanding engagement. Safety engineering in the 2030 Escalade reflects both regulatory requirements and Cadillac's commitment to protecting occupants beyond minimum standards. The structural design incorporates advanced materials and construction techniques. High-strength steel and aluminum are deployed strategically, providing rigidity where needed for occupant protection while managing overall weight. Crumple zones are engineered to absorb and redirect impact forces away from the passenger compartment. The airbag system is comprehensive, with deployable protection throughout the cabin. Front, side, curtain, and knee airbags are standard. The deployment algorithms are calibrated based on impact severity and occupant positioning. Driver assistance systems have matured considerably. The suite available in the 2030 Escalade represents the current state-of-the-art in commercially available technology. Forward collision warning and automatic emergency braking provide an additional layer of protection in potential impact situations. Lane departure warning and lane keeping assistance help maintain proper road position. Blind spot monitoring addresses the visibility challenges inherent to a vehicle of this size. The available hands-free driving system, an evolution of Cadillac's Super Cruise technology, allows for supervised automated driving on compatible roadways. The driver attention monitoring system ensures appropriate oversight. When conditions allow, this system reduces fatigue on long journeys by managing steering, acceleration, and braking without direct input. Parking assistance has been developed to address the realities of maneuvering a large vehicle in constrained spaces. Camera coverage provides comprehensive visibility around the vehicle. Automatic parking functions can manage both parallel and perpendicular scenarios with minimal driver involvement. Trailer assistance extends these capabilities to towing situations. Emergency response features include automatic collision notification, on-demand emergency services access, and vehicle location capabilities. These systems provide reassurance that assistance is available when needed. The safety summary is appropriate for a vehicle at this level: comprehensive, current, and configured to protect occupants across the range of situations that real-world driving presents. For a vehicle at this investment level, long-term ownership considerations are substantial. The 2030 Escalade has been engineered with durability and ownership satisfaction as explicit priorities. The electric powertrain, by its nature, presents fewer mechanical wear points than traditional configurations. The absence of an internal combustion engine eliminates oil changes, timing component replacement, and the various maintenance items associated with that technology. Battery longevity has been engineered through careful thermal management and charging protocols that preserve capacity over time. Build quality has been addressed through manufacturing refinement and quality control protocols. Panel fit, material durability, and assembly precision reflect lessons learned across General Motors' production experience. Long-term ownership reports from earlier Ultium-based vehicles inform continuous improvement. Warranty coverage is competitive within the segment, providing appropriate protection during the initial ownership period. Battery and electric powertrain components receive extended coverage, recognizing their central role and premium replacement cost. Service network capability has been developed to support electric vehicle ownership. Dealer technicians have received specialized training. Diagnostic equipment has been updated. Parts availability has been prioritized to minimize any potential downtime. Over-the-air update capability extends beyond infotainment to include vehicle systems more broadly. This allows for continuous improvement throughout the ownership period. Functionality additions, efficiency optimizations, and issue resolution delivered without service visits. Residual value projections remain favorable for the Escalade nameplate. Market demand for premium American SUVs continues, and the Escalade's brand recognition supports value retention over typical ownership cycles. Having examined the 2030 Cadillac Escalade comprehensively, we can now address the fundamental question: who is this vehicle for? The answer is nuanced but clear. This Escalade is for those who require space without compromise, those who transport families, colleagues, or clients in environments where impression matters, those who cover significant distances and demand that those journeys occur in comfort and refinement. It is for those who appreciate American design philosophy, the embrace of scale, presence, and visual authority that distinguishes this approach from European or Asian alternatives. For those who want their vehicle to make a statement that is confident without being ostentatious. It is for those who have accepted electrification as the future of premium transportation, and who want that transition executed without sacrifice, who expect the refinement that electric propulsion enables, but also the range capability and charging practicality that make daily use straightforward. It is for professionals who require their vehicle to serve as a mobile workspace, for families who need genuine functionality without compromising on luxury, for individuals who have achieved a level of success that deserves reflection in their transportation choice. And it is for those who value long-term ownership, who see a vehicle not as a short-term possession, but as a considered investment in mobility, who appreciate that quality, properly executed, provides returns over years rather than months. The 2030 Cadillac Escalade ultimately is for those who want the best of what American premium transportation can offer. It is not a vehicle for everyone, it was never intended to be, but for those whom it suits, it represents a compelling, confident, and thoroughly considered choice. Thank you for your time with this analysis.
If this content has provided value in your research or consideration process, we invite you to subscribe for future coverage of significant vehicles in this segment. Your engagement supports the continuation of in-depth, thoughtful automotive analysis. For additional information on the 2030 Escalade, we recommend consultation with authorized Cadillac representatives who can address specific configuration options and regional availability. We appreciate your attention, and we look forward to providing further analysis in future content.